So my name is Albert Ricola from Bsmare third year Alpha. So the first question is about how are the completing theories of creation and evolution going to be resolved in terms of the existence of the universe and supernatural beings? Which statement or philosophical principle will you apply to resolve these contradictory claims? So, about creation and evolution. So, creation is based on belief that God intentionally created the universe, the earth, and all living beings. So, often as described in religious texts like the Bible. So, evolution, in contrast, is a scientific theory that explains the diversity of life throughout the gradual changes over time. So driven by a natural process such as a mutations and natural selections. While these two ideas might seem like opposites, so many believe they can work together if we think of evolution as the tool God used to develop life over time. So this perspective called uh, theistic evolution. So it suggests that God created the universe with a purpose that and set everything in motion. So guiding the process of evolution. So in this view, God remains involved in the upholding of life, but evolution is the method through which life changes and adapts. This approach allows both the beliefs in God, creative rule, and scientific understanding of how life evolves. Next is about briefly explain the existence of a maximally great being in terms of the following. So first is about the information in DNA. So DNA is an incredibly complex molecule found in almost all living organisms. It's like a highly detailed set of instructions for building and maintaining organisms and maintaining an organisms. So DNA stores genetic information in a code made of 4 bases, the ATCG, and the sequence of these bases determines everything from hair color to how cells functions. So this level of complexity is hard to explain through the random chance alone. So the idea is that such precise, intricate code requires an intelligent designer. So much like how a book requires an author, or how a computer program needs a programmer. So in the creationist view, so DNA is the seen as evidence of God's hard work, allowing the careful planning and design that went into creating life. So next is about the fine-tuning of the universe. So some scientists have discovered that the universe physical constants such as the strength of the gravity, the force holding atoms together, and the rate of expansion of the universe are perfectly calibrated to allow life to exist. So even slight changes in this constant would make life impossible. For example, if gravity were just a bit stronger or weaker, stars and planets wouldn't form correctly. So this leads some to believe that the universe must have been designed with life in mind. So this is known as the fine-tuning argument. So, in this perspective, this fine-tuning suggests that a maximally great being, or the God, carefully set the universe conditions so that life could thrive. It's like the universe was set up in such a way that the life wasn't just possible but likely. So next is about the absolute moral values. So many people believe that certain things like objectively right or wrong, no matter what anyone else think. So for instance, most cultures believe that acts like murder or thief are inherently wrong, while kindness and fairness are considered good. So this sense of moral right and wrong, which doesn't change based on the personal opinion, suggests that the existence of absolute moral values for creationists. So these moral laws points to a moral lawgiver, which is God, who instilled these values in humanity. Without immorality, or without a higher being to define what is right and wrong, morality could be seen as a subjective and changing. So based on the personal or cultural preference, but the fact that the some moral values seems universal and unchanging implies they come from a divine source, a maximally great being who sets these moral standards. So next is about the irreducible complexity. So irreducible complexity refers to the system in nature that are too intricate that if any one part is removed, the whole system stops functioning. So an example often used is the bacterial flagellum. So it is a tiny motor that allows bacteria to move. So the flagellum is made of multiple parts, all of which needed to be placed for it to work. So this poses a challenge to the idea of step-by-step evolution, because according to this concept, if the system only partially evolved, it wouldn't work at all, and natural selection would not have preserved it. So therefore, creationists argue that such system must have been designed fully formed from the beginning. So in this view, irreducible complexity is seen as a clear evidence of God designs, as only an intelligent being would create such complex system that work perfectly right from the start.